NYPA. It's time to start the show, so search for the squad and listen out for the promo with the West Wild Spitter. Spin his web into a chokehold. Make it unfold, 5 o'clock. Who gives a damn of what your man to say? We spittin' live wireless, leave you shot with the gamma ray. Ain't no runner-up, cause it ain't the closest to candidate. I fly too deep and you draw like Japanese anime. It's just us and the rest, news off the hottest press. Kyle Holton, Philly West, reppin' with the legends, classic interview session, politics, sports segment, live phone, call up a question, it's the NYPA, 95 connection, real people, ain't no scripted cue card for direction, just team on the grind, time till it's all perfection, throw it past the satellite so you can catch reception, so touch ground with us, we kill challenges, a murder bit for every number on your calendars, from west to the boogie down the Greyhound in this, we Google Spot, Anchor Podcast, pocket this.
Welcome everyone to another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. It's your boy KG. Normally, I would do this on a Sunday and upload it. You'll see it Sunday night or early Monday, but it's Labor Day. I didn't feel like doing it yesterday. As you can see, I look very unkempt as I enjoying the 3-day weekend. Didn't shave, need a haircut, the whole night. So I'm just like, I was just like, do it tomorrow. I got an extra day. So here I am, not looking like my best. Usually, I like to try to look as straighten this camera up. Try to look as pristine as possible, but you rarely get a 3-day weekend with, you have a Monday off. You try to enjoy it as much as possible. So I do appreciate you taking the time out and enjoying today's episode. Hopefully everyone is enjoying their Labor Day weekend and being safe. And at least here in the East Coast in Philly, the weather has been perfect. It's not hot. It's been kind of pleasant to cool. Clear sky, so everyone probably just enjoying that last bit of good weather before everything kicks in full blast with school and work takes over, everybody come back off of vacation and so forth, and already the unofficial end of summer, as they say, each year. So Memorial Day is the unofficial start, Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer. As we transition into fall football, college football, pro football, everything's happening. Baseball playoffs about to happen. So the year went by kind of fast. If you think about it, it's just like already September, and 3 months from now in December. It's crazy. Life be life, and you just, when you not thinking about it too much, and you get your head down and you're grinding away, doing whatever. And you look up, you're like, damn, it's September. And then you look at it, it's almost December. It's crazy. Before you know it, probably in about 3 weeks, they'll start putting out Christmas decorations before Halloween. I don't know, Halloween got to come first. Yeah, you know it, and I know it. But, they're already going to start promoting Christmas stuff already. It's already, give it about mid to late September going into October, when the weather officially start getting really, really cool. You know what I mean? Like past the fall. Next thing you know is it'll be like, they're already going to be talking about Christmas. This is going to surpass Halloween. They're going to surpass Thanksgiving and go right into Christmas already. This is how they do it. You know what I mean? There's a lot to get into that happened last week and going into this week. One I wanted to discuss is the situation with UFC fighter's son, Quentin Rampage Jackson, his son, Raja Jackson. Seen the video, you're not familiar with Raja Jackson or follow wrestling or whatever, give you a little bit of backstory here before I get into the article and give you like updates. About might have been last weekend. Raja Jackson, son of Quentin Rampage Jackson, former UFC champion, MMA fighter. He went to an independent wrestling show, and I think out west in Los Angeles. He was doing like a live stream for Kick, I think, and he's in training himself. He's like 26 years old. He goes backstage, and this is all on footage. They have the footage. You can look it up online. They've been number playing it all over, all online. And he went backstage, and he was talking to a guy named wrestler name is Cycle Stew, and Cycle Stew sees the camera, and automatically in wrestling in general, they see a camera, they already get into character or whatever. So Cycle Stew had an empty beer can, and he hit it up, and he took it and he hit it upside Raja head, and Raja tensed up like, "Yo, what was that? What you doing?" And you can hear Cycle Stew say, "Well, you're not going to sell it. You're not. Let me stop there. Sell it. I watch wrestling. Sell it means when someone does a move or hits you with something, punch you, whatever. You're selling like, oh, that's selling it. When someone slams you, someone hits you with a like their finisher, which is the knockout move, you sell it to show that it hurts. Sometimes it really does hurt, but like you like really you're selling it. So you're not selling it. Other wrestlers around him like, yo, he's not a worker. What does that mean? He's not a wrestler. He doesn't know the terminology. He's not a worker. Like, yo, chill. So later on in the video, you see that Stu, who is a veteran, he's a retired veteran who got into wrestling to battle his PSTD. So you see him at least not once, not twice, but three times apologize to Roger, like, yo, I'm sorry, I saw the camera, I didn't know this is an. He's like, oh, that's fine. Then there's other clips where you saw another wrestler, I think his name's AJ Mana, I believe, and he said, listen, you get your receipt. Now, get your receipt means in wrestling, if someone hit you for real, like really hard, you get your receipt, meaning you get to get them back. You get a chance to get them back. So you say, yo, get your receipt back. All right. Then you go show different clips. He's Raja's ringside. Stu's in the wrestling ring. There's so many different angles, so many different clips or whatever. So what ended up happening is that I think they signaled Raja to go in, and things got a little out of hand. Raja goes in, he picks up and slams Stu. Stu hits it immediately. If you see the footage, Stu, his head hits the ring. These rings, especially independent rings, are unforgiving. It's like pretty much like concrete. You think they're springs. There's like concrete, like hard. He knocks him. He hits him and he's knocked out. Then Roger just got welling on him, pop, 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 and it for a while. It took a while for people to get him off of him. I think everybody was kind of shocked. Finally, they pulled him. Like they trying to pull him off. The guy's already knocked out. Roger's going to town on him, and if they did not pull him off of him, he probably would have killed the guy. Like he was really beating the guy like even more unconscious. Like I mean, it was brutal to watch. So there's a possible, obviously, lawsuit. There's LAPD investigating it. This cat could do some time. So what is it? What it's of course, people going to make it racial. A lot of people were sending death threats to Rampage, his father. Racial. Why you got to get racial over this? It's not a black or white thing. It's one human being. One human being just going to another one. It has nothing to do with black or white, whatever. But people gotta make it racial. We always do. Everything gotta be racial. If you're of a different race and something happens, everybody gotta make it that. It's not always about that. Did something that was just uncalled for. And whatever punishment comes, he deserves. Now, an update on Stu is that Stuart Smith, better known as Cycle Stu, is out of the hospital following a beating he took at the hands of Raza Jackson, the son of former MMA star Quentin Rampage Jackson, during a professional wrestling event last month, which was last weekend. Smith posted an update on social media account yesterday about his release from the hospital, where he had been since Jackson had slammed Smith to the mat at a Knox Pro Wrestling event in California and pummeled him while he laid on the ground before other wrestlers eventually came and pulled Jackson off of him. Quote: Stewart has been released from the hospital and is now resting. The post stated posted excuse me, I get it right. Posted statement read: He sustained a serious head injury and was unconscious upon arrival at the ER. His injuries include trauma to both his upper and lower jaw, a laceration to his upper lip, and a fracture to the maxilla bone, which unfortunately resulted in the loss of several teeth. Uh, he has a long road recovery ahead of him, but remains in good spirits despite everything he has been through. We are deeply grateful for the love and support we've received during this time. Thank you to everyone who contributed in any way, whether through monetary donations, food, flowers, or gifts. Your kindness means more than words can express. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Um, it's believed that the incident stemmed from a run-in that Jackson and Smith had outside the event during when he slammed him. Now, this whole thing is not over, obviously. I mean, obviously the lawsuit's going to happen to Raja and his father, who has the money, and Raja sees some jail time, and he should. The guy, I mean, if you look at the footage, it's brutal. He just beat him just senselessly. Like it's ridiculous how bad. Like I mean, he was beating him down. Now, Quentin Jackson Rampage said his son a couple of days prior to that has been concussed while training, so he shouldn't have been even out there doing an event. He should have been home instead of out there with a concussed brain or what have you. I don't know, whatever. But there is footage where Roger found out how bad he beat him. He was very nonchalant about it. All this you can see on YouTube or Google it or whatever. Someone calls him, the guy named Andre, and he said, "What are you?" And you hear the conversation on both ends. He said, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "Oh no, he got under my skin." I just like, dude, he flatlined. And Raja responds like, "My bad. I'll call you later." That was his response. Then there's footage of him blaming Raja, blaming the camera guy for still filming the footage and not cutting it off. It's crazy. So I don't know what it's going to lead to, but obviously it's not over. Far, far, far from over. Let's not throw the race in there. Let's not throw black, white. We're not going to do that. People want to do that. No, it's not. It's easy, of course, because you say, "Oh, you got an all American white cat who's a patriot who got into wrestling, dealing with PSTD, protected our country." Then you got this, this thug, this African American young guy thug beating them down. That's what it's painted as, and it's not that. It was just one guy who can control his anger against another one. Let's not make racism about this. He deserves whatever punishment he deserves. Meaning Raja, obviously. It's disturbing to watch. It's messed up. When I first time I saw it, I personally didn't think it was real. I thought it was like it was a shoot, meaning a work, meaning it was part of the show. No, it was real, and he pounded and pounded, and everybody got him off, and he wanted when he was pulling him off, he wanted more, and which made it even more terrifying. So while the footage is there, I mean, it'd be short in the court of law. Um, he, this guy can't, in my opinion, there's no coming back from this. Whatever he wants to do in the MMA world or whatever, no one's going to touch him. No one wants to be around him. He's going to have to like go off the grid, do his time, go off the grid, and come back as a better person and do something else. Because this footage is always going to haunt him for the rest of his life. And unfortunately, his father who had nothing to do with it, who wasn't there, and his son who's grown, who's 26 years old, um, it's crazy. And of course, as a father, Rampage is going to defend his son and take up for him. But at the same time, he's like, yeah, he was wrong. You know what I mean? And as a parent, God forbid my kid did something like that, I would defend it to a degree, but then at the same time, like right is right, wrong is wrong. It's like, yeah, you messed up. Like I love you. You put yourself in this situation, and you have to deal with the consequences. There's nothing more I can do. Like you did this. And I tell my kid all the time, I'm like, there's consequences to you, whenever you do something negative. There is, whether it's verbally, whether it's physically, there's consequences. And there's consequences to this. And well, thank God Stu is awake and he got a long recovery ahead of him, and we'll see what happens. But I think Roger's gonna do some time. They're make an example out of him, and what he did was wrong. What he did was wrong. So we will see as time goes on what happens. Like I said, this happened like last weekend, so it's still fresh, and they're still investigating. So probably sometime soon we'll probably get an update of what happens next or what's going to happen. So, and of course you can hear it here on NYPA Entertainment Radio. All right, what else to get into? What else? What else? What else? I will. Got a lot here. All right, staying in the world of professional wrestling. Kelly Osbourne slam. I hate pop-ups. Kelly Osbourne slams WWE star Becky Lynch for making a disrespectful Ozzy Osbourne joke, calling her a dirtbag. Alright. Kelly Osbourne always stands by her family. The former fashion police host, 40 years old, slammed WWE star Becky Lynch for making an insensitive joke about her late dad, Ozzy Osbourne, last Monday night. During a WWE Raw show from the BP Post Live Arena in Ozzy's home city of Birmingham, England, Lynch 38 brought up the Black Sabbath frontman as Nikki Bella challenged Lynch to a fight in the ring. I saw this live. Quote, "I'm not wrestling in Birmingham," said Lynch. "The only good thing that came out of here died a month ago." And the audience gasped. Lynch continued, but in fairness to Ozzy Osbourne, he had the good sense to move to LA, a proper city, because if I lived in Birmingham, I'd die too. Kelly responded to Lynch's comments on Instagram stories last Tuesday, calling the Irish wrestler a disrespectful dirtbag. Quote, "Birmingham would not piss on you if you were on fire. Birmingham forever," Kelly wrote, while mistakenly tagging one of Lynch's fan pages instead of the actual account. "Shame on the WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father and his home," Kelly said. Lynch also faced backlash from fans for the joke. "Bro, Becky did not just say that," one wrote on YouTube. She said what pure hatred," another fan wrote. Okay. And it ends there and it goes on with people comment on what she said. Let me explain something to you. What Becky Lynch did was called getting heat. She is a villain. I'm bringing this wrestling lesson to you. She's a villain. She's a heel. And what heels do, they get something called heat. What is heat? Heat is when you say something to get the crowd, just the camera again, get the crowd angry at you, to build up that moment, to get them to not like you so bad. So when the baby face, which is the good guy or a good woman, come down and whoop your ass, everybody cheers in delight, like, yeah, we got our just dues. Was it too soon for the joke? Maybe. Are people a little too sensitive? Maybe. But it wasn't out of malice. It wasn't unpersonal. It was to get heat. That's what heels do. They say things to get people pissed off. That's what you do. You get heat. You get heat, baby. That's what happens. That's all it was. I don't think nothing personal. People, maybe it was a little too soon because he just died at the time. Like at that time was like last Monday, a month prior. So it was a little too fresh, but it's heat. That's what happens. And a lot of people, at the end of the day, you have to be careful what you say overall because everyone is sensitive. You gotta be careful how you say it. Joke, how you pronounce. You just have to. People say there's freedom of speech. No, it's really not, because if you say anything that the masses did not agree with, then you're a dirtbag. Then people. I'm gonna keep adjusting the camera. Um, People are not gonna like what you said, and if you don't go, if you just don't agree with everything, if you go rogue and say stuff, a lot of people, gonna come down on you. But like I said, I think it was too soon. I said ooh also, but I get wrestling as entertainment, and I know what the heels do. They say stuff to get under your skin. So other people outside of Kelly, I get that's your father, but other fans, I'm like, listen, calm the f down. Let's not sit on our high horse and start saying, "Oh, bro, she said that with malice." Because anytime when I see fans, okay, I'll say Kelly out of it because that's her father, so I get that. It's too soon. But fans who don't know these people personally or whatever, I can't believe she said that. I'm like, I'm sure you say a lot of things in your home that no one knows about, or amongst your friends that are like a deep cut or very disrespectful or something or distasteful. Let's not sit high and look low. We all have done it. I do it myself. Behind closed, we might say something very distasteful, something that people would not like. So let's cut the nonsense. We're a little extra sensitive on a lot of stuff at the end of the day. So it's one of those things where unless you don't know the business, you're going to be like, oh my god, how could she say that or whatever. Even if you do know the business, that's part of the business. That's what happens. It wasn't a personal thing. It wasn't Rebecca saying it. It was Becky saying it. It was a character. They get heat. That's all it was. That's it. It was nothing. Like, you take it for entertainment purposes only. It's no different if you put it in a movie or a play or whatever. I think it maybe was a little too soon, and I think a lot of people are just extra sensitive on a lot of things. Just to be sensitive, we just like we're a lot of sensitive. There's a lot of too much sensitivity going on out there, and take it for what it is. Like I said, it was in an entertainment moment. It wasn't like a personal thing. She's entertaining. She's a character. She's a character who is a heel. She's a character who's despicable and dastardly. All that did with Kelly and everyone commenting and making a big deal of it, all it did was actually made it even better because that's what you look for. Like you're like, yeah, I got under their skin. They're mad at me. They're gonna boo me out the effing arena. People can't stand me. That's because you're playing that character. That's what you want. That's what you really want. That's what you want, hands down. You want people to like not like you. And then flip the script when you're a baby face, you want people to like you. So it's part of an act at the end of the day. But I think I agree. I'm sorry I keep moving the camera. I agree. It was a little too soon, and I understand Kelly's part of it because that's her father, and it's still fresh. Do I think she still would have reacted if this was 3 6 months down the line? Maybe, maybe not. But the fact that it was just still fresh, I get it. She has the right. I understand that. Other people, shut the fuck up. Fans, stop piling on. Shut the fuck up. She can say whatever she wants as her father. I totally get it. Fans, shut the fuck up. I said it already. Shut the fuck up. You go along with it. Stop. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Don't start sweating. Whatever. She's the only one that has the right to say something because that's her father, and I get it. And I'm not gonna come down on her because I totally understand. It's still fresh, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? So fans, shut the fuck up. Moving on. Uh, should I? I'll save Snip Dog. A couple of Snip Dogs here. Let me. I'll do Snoop Dogs later. I will do Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi says he used to smoke 15 blunts a day before going to rehab. It truly ruled my life. The Ohio rapper released his memoir and then a new album earlier in August. Kid Cudi has opened up about how he needed a stint in rehab to curb his marijuana use. On the heels of releasing his new album and his memoir, people sat down with Cudi earlier this week. During the chat, he admitted there was a point he was smoking 15 blunts a day. I just was in his place where I was abusing it. Cutter said, I was really abusing it. I was smoking maybe 15 blunts a day. Wake up in the morning, get high. It truly ruled my life. After getting out of rehab, Cudi stayed away from smoking weed for 2 months, and then restarted a healthy relationship with marijuana, which he has under control now. And now I just get and now I just get after it. And now I just get after it at night or on the weekends when I have the free time and I'm just relaxing, but I'm not smoking nowhere near as much as I was smoking before, he explained. A joint lasts me all day, damn near. So my relationship has changed with that in a major way, and I'm just more interested in being sober a lot more and being more present. Cutting Memoirs arrived on August 12th, which finds him burying his soul and delving into his turbulent journey filled with stories of loss, love, and battling addiction. An early excerpt from the memoir revealed Cudi nearly died of a drug overdose circa 2010. Uh, I was, uh, sorry. I was at peace with dying, Cudi wrote. After doing more coke than I ever had in my life, I was losing all sense of what was real. I I've been alone in my New York apartment, crying for hours, listening to Likey Lee song "Time Flies" on repeat. It was a love song, but the melodies and her voice filled me with despair. He continued, it was peace it was peace I was after. Here, crippled on the floor, minutes from overdosing, was the closest I've ever come to finding it. You made great music that people love, I thought, but this is the end. On the music side, Kid Cudi released his free album on August 22nd, which boasts 13 tracks and no feature guests. Wow, I to unpack on this one. You never know what people are going through, what they feel, and all that stuff. You would think with all the success, oh, what problems do they have? And you just don't know what's up here. Smoking 15 blunts a day, my God, good Lord, he's still alive? 15 blunts, good Lord. I know cats to do like 3 times, 4, whatever, but 15. My God, like 15 blunt, like man, that's some serious stuff right there. Um, and the fact that you know he damn near overdosed, back in 2010. Again, you just never know with people whether it's a civilian or a celebrity alike. We're all human beings at the end of the day, and again, you never know what any of us is really thinking or feeling unless we openly say it. You know what I mean? Sorry, fix my shirt. I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, I look still like a hot mess this weekend. Um, but it's just that's interesting. Like I said, it's just you don't know. You never know what's in people's minds and what they feel, what they go through. You be like, man, all that success, all of this, and excuse me, it's crazy. With 15 blunts a day, my God, woo! I don't smoke. I don't know that stuff. Um, and I did I can imagine he's like high all the time. Like it's probably never a real moment he had a clear head, and probably for the first time when he had a clear head, it probably freaked him the fuck out. You know what I mean? Because you're cloudy the whole time. If you're smoking 15 blunts a day, 15 a day, 7 days a week, 15 months. That's like nonstop. your mind is cloudy. Your memory is fucked up. Your membranes are damn near probably shredded. Because you're just nothing but just that in you. You know what I mean? So I can imagine once everything probably he stopped and he reduced it and he started being clear headed and started seeing things differently, you probably like, wow. You know what I mean? Because you're like on a literally on a high of highs. You're high as hell. Then when you cut that, you come down. You probably like, what was I thinking? What was I doing? No, you was high out your mind. So if he's smoking 15 blunts a day, that means whatever he's doing during that time, whether it's albums, on a movie set, TV show, or a concert, 9 times out of 10, he probably don't remember all of that shit, or barely because he's not in his right state of mind. His brain is covered in a cloud of weed. But 15 blunts a day, my God, jeez Louise, man, that's crazy. So he's just walking around. He's just head is literally head is in the cloud. Yeah, his head's in the cloud. Yeah, his head was definitely in the cloud. His head was definitely in the cloud. He was he was out there. You know what I mean? All right, let us move on. All right. Cardi B explains why other female rappers can't stand her. They can't F with me. The rapper also spoke about Jay-Z approval to sample Imagine Imaginary Players. Is Cardi B the drama? Even she isn't sure, including when it comes to her tensions with other female rappers in the music industry. While speaking in a recent interview, posted last Monday, the Bronx native opened up about why she thinks people are always pulling her into feuds online and in person, a phenomenon, a yeah, and in person, a phenomenon that inspired the title of her upcoming sophomore album, "Am I Am I the Drama?" After years of reflection, Cardi Cardi has concluded that she simply had a natural quality that elicits strong reactions from other people. Quote, it's like, damn, does drama chase me or am I the drama? She said in the interview. I'm just really think I was born with an anointed light. Sometimes the light is great. I can hear her voice as I read this. But it also disturbs people's peace. It draws people to me, and it's not always going to be good. That light might bother people. Maybe it's too bright. It's too loud. It's always been like, this is to me now. This is to me. It's always like, it's been like this. It's always been like this to me. My bad. The gravitational relationship between herself and drama has carried over from high school days into her professional life. The Grammy winner says even in the industry, there is a lot of different female rappers, but for some reason, it's something about me that these bitches can't stand. She explains in the interview. They can't f with me. Some bitches, I feel like they're on this clash right now. They're sophomores and I'm a senior, and it's like you want to f with me with this. You want to f with the senior so bad. You think you're here with the senior. You're not even a junior. You need to worry about them other sophomores before you start worrying about the effing senior. A lot of f words in this. Like, be better than that. Like, come on, you can talk better than that. You ain't gotta do all that. Seriously, come on. Like, seriously, you get did that better. Quote: "It's something about me that's that's there's something about me that it's like they can't even focus on them." Cardi added, they got to focus on me, and they always got to focus on throwing me shots and throwing me slings, and I'm sick of it. It's like it's like f you and f everybody. Uh, though the hip hop Though the hip hop titan didn't name names, it's no secret that she's found herself in the middle of numerous public spats over the years. In addition to her widely publicized conflict with fellow rap queen Nicki Minaj, Cardi also traded barbs on social media with artists such as JT of City Girls, Akbar V, and Bia. I have no idea who these women are. But while fans will have to wait a few more weeks to hear whether Cardi addresses any of her views on Am I the Drama, which dropped September 19th. She did recently release an album from the LP titled Imaginary Players. The track samples by Jay-Z's 1997 song Imaginary Players. And on Apple Music, Cardi spoke about having the mogul approve her use of his work on her album. When, quote, when it was time to submit it to get approved, I was a little scared. She revealed. I was a little shaky. Wait a minute, Jay Z got to approve it. I mean, I always knew he got to approve it, but it was like, how about if he don't approve it? How about if he effing likes it? How about if he effing likes it and he did like it, and it was so crazy. The text messages of him approving it was like 4:44 p.m. Well, that's cool. That's good for her. I'm not a Cardi B fan of her music at all. I mean, she's nice, good looking. She's nice, easy on the eyes. I wouldn't kick her out of bed. But I'm not a big fan of her music. Or a lot of female MCs nowadays. I'm just not. I don't think a lot of female MCs nowadays can carry what the MCs that I grew up listening to in the late '80s through the '90s and early 2000s. I don't think they can compare it to the Eves, the Queen Latifahs, the MC Lights, the Muhammadias, the Brats, the Yo-Yos, or the Lady of Rage. They can't hold a light to them. Little Kims. I'm going on and on and on and on. But it's a different era, different times, and that's cool. And I get that things change. The Foxy Browns, I say, popped in my head. Um, so I get that. It's not for me. Like I said, I'm just a lot of stuff I'm just not a big fan of. I'm not again, I said it enough times, in my opinion, it's no substance to the music nowadays. Whether it's male or female, there's no sticking or staying power. It's nothing. But it's my opinion. You guys may think differently, like, oh, I like this, and that's cool. But I'm like I said, I don't get it. I don't just like, nah, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool with it. Like I'm just whatever. Um, what I don't like, if you're gonna, I say this all the time. If you have an issue with someone, it's one of two things the way to handle it. Let's not be so vague about it. Just be like, look, so and so coming after me, so and so coming after me. And you're like, and it's just like, well, name names. You so tough. You dropping curse words like you tough. Who? Who coming after you? Who's saying about you? Who? Who in particular are you talking about? Everyone talks tough, but they want to be vague. They don't want to name names. So they leave us to kind of figure it out and fill in the blanks. Or maybe they talk about her, or they talking about this person, or they talking about that person. Just name names. Just be like, so and so coming after me, so and so coming after me, and I don't know why. This, and this. We all can come together and make money and blah blah blah. But it's never about that. You know what I mean? Um, but like I said, like she's a proven commodity. She's making money, and she obviously has a talent to um, have her albums go platinum, and she finally got her second one, and people flock to her. And Jay Z approve of Imaginary Players. That's just not my bag, man. That's like when I think of female MCs, my top 5 or 3. I debate with the younger cats. They'll throw Nicki in my face, they'll throw Cardi in my face, they'll throw Megan in my face, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm old school. I got the yo-yos, I got the Eves, I got the little Kilms and the Foxies and the Queen Latifahs. It's Salt and Peppers. Like, man, the Roxanne Shante. Like, come on, I got like you can't knock them at all. I think they got more staying power. But again, that's just my opinion. It could be the era I grew up in or what have you. But I would give credit where credit is due if I like what I heard. And I'm not really liking what I'm hearing at the end of the day. Whether it's male or female, it's just like, it's not me, but maybe for the next person. But it's music subjective, and everyone likes what they like, and I'm not going to knock it at all. You know what I mean? I'm just not. All right, moving on. Let me see. Denzel Washington says, I don't watch movies. I'm tired of movies. Despite being a prolific actor and expert in his craft, two-time Oscar winner Denzel Washington said he's over cinema. In a recent interview with GQ, paired with Highest to Lowest filmmaker Spike Lee and co-star ASAP Rocky and Raquel Myers, Washington joked he's tired of movies, likely because he made dozens. The topic came up as ASAP Rocky was discussing his favorite double dolly shots, emblematic of Lee's directorial technique. While he listed Malcolm X Crooklyn when asking Washington of his favorite, the latter responded, "I don't watch movies, man. I really don't." Prompting laughter from Lee and Myers. That's Myers. Excuse me, Myers. The Gladiator 2 star contained, "I'm just being honest with you. I don't watch movies, man. I don't go to the movies. I don't watch movies." Having added earlier that he doesn't rewatch his own features, and as he doesn't feel that he need to revisit the past. It became like, it is be is it because you make them? ASAP asks. Probably. I'm tired of movies. When Lee questioned how many credits Washington had racked up, the Othello actor responded, "Too many. I think 50." Indeed, the actor's IMDb boasts multiple entries over that figure. Washington's signature blunt declaration comes after his recent comments about being not interested in winning an Academy Award after his triumphs in O2's Training Day and 1990's Glory. I've been at this a long time. There's times when I've won, I shouldn't have won, didn't win, should have won. He said earlier this month, "Man gives the reward, God gives the award. Man gives the award, God gives the reward." Man, say it again. Man gives the award, God gives the reward. I'm not that interested in Oscars. People say, "Well, where do you keep it?" I say, "Next to the other one." Highest to lowest, I do want to check that joint out. It's going to be streaming as of Friday, September 5th on Apple Plus and in the theaters. Listen, to each his own, and sometimes maybe he feels as though that not because he just makes it, but maybe there's nothing worth watching out there movie wise. Um, and I don't think that's really. I don't know. Sometimes maybe somebody just like getting tired of it. There's nothing that's interesting to him. He's been there, done that, and seen it all. And maybe because, like, they asked him because he makes movie, maybe that's what it is. But he said he doesn't watch it. So the question is, what else do you watch? He probably sit back. Either he reads a book, watch sports, maybe a little bit of television, or just chill and don't watch it. And I get it, not watching your old work. Some people, I know a lot. I've heard a lot of actors and directors who don't rewatch what they do at all, like whether it's a television show or whatever. I have a hard time listening and watching old shows that I've done. Like, I hate editing. I like right now I have a hard time looking at the monitors because I think I look like crap today, and hear my voice and all that. So editing is difficult for me. And I'm not a big camera person, and I don't like revisiting old stuff. So I think once I'm done with a show, I put it out of my mind, and someone brings it up, I don't remember it, and it could be just from like last week. I put it away. I move on to the next one. Um, I might mull on it a little bit on how it was and so forth, but after a while, I just like let it go. But to each his own, man. I think personally, Denzel should have won more than two. The man should have at least up to 6 or more, quite frankly. Um, will it hurt him when he say he doesn't care about it? He doesn't care, so I mean, it doesn't matter. The whole awards thing is it is based on man or woman to make the final decision at the end of the day on what they think their opinion is, who's better than the next. That's it. It's all opinions. It's like, I think this person better than this one. I think this person. It's a vote. And I'm sorry, you may hear horn in the background. Somebody blocking somebody in. If y'all hear a horn in the background, um, in any award show, doesn't matter what award show you're watching, it's it's a committee that votes, that comes together and votes on who they think is the best or what is the best at that time, at this time, or whatever. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that they're right. It's just based on opinion. You can factor other stuff in there, and you know what I mean. But I think Denzel should have won a lot more than two. And right now, I guess he's like, I'm over it. I'm 70 years old. I'm about to retire. I got two, whatever. Doesn't mean nothing. Award, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it'd be it'd be crazy if he got nominated for highest to lowest and he won. I wonder what his reaction would be. You know what I mean? But some people don't care about awards. Some people do. He said he didn't get into acting. He doesn't take film roles or whatever for awards. He does it for the love of the work, the love of the art and the work and so forth. So, you know, it's I love to hear about certain artists, how they think how they think and perceive things in terms of their art, whether getting an award or not getting one. Uh, Again, like he said, man gives awards, God gives rewards. Some like they fight hard to get an award to acknowledge you did your best. Others don't care. They're like, I'm doing it for the love of it, and whether you like it or not doesn't matter to me. It's a great piece. It's a great piece of art. It's a great product, and so forth. So I'm not surprised that that he said that, and him not watching movies. I'm just curious to see what else he watches. So I'm guessing either he watch the news, watch sports, a little bit of TV, or he might just read a book. Or he might just be staring at the wall, chilling, listening to music. Who knows? Only he does. I think that's a question you should be asking. What do you watch? What do you do in your spare time? You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, I got a triple thing with Snip Dog. What the? All right, let's see. Let me start with, yeah, got a Snoop Dogg trifecta. Snoop Dogg says, I'm scared to go to the movies after Pixar's gay couple in Lightyear led to questions from his grandson. These are kids. We have to show that. We have to show that at this age. Snoop Dogg recently appeared on its on another an interview and spoke about being scared to bring his grandchildren to the movie after watching 2022's Lightyear, Pixar Toy Story spinoff featuring the voice of Chris Evans. The rapper brought his grandson to watch the animated movie, but did not expect to have a field of questions about same-sex couples, as the movie featured a montage which two mothers are seen raising their child. They're like, she had a baby with another woman. Well, my grandson is in the middle of the movie. Is like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She's a woman. Snoop remembered thinking, oh shit, I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. His grandson continued to double down on what he saw. They just said she said they just said she had a baby. They're both women. How does that happen? It fucked me up, Snoop said. I'm like scared to go to the movies. Y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have answers for. It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids. We have to show that at this age, they're going to ask questions. I don't have the answers. Lightyear not only featured one of Disney and Pixar's most prominent LGBTQ plus characters, but also depicted his first same-sex kiss in a movie. As reported by Variety, the moment sparked widespread controversy internally at Pixar after the studio considered cutting the same-sex kiss. Employees and allies at Pixar sent a joint statement to Walt Disney Company leadership claiming that Disney executives had actively censored overtly gay affections in their feature films. They did not want Lightyear to be the latest example. The studio resonated the kiss as a result. I mean, it's great. Chris Evans later told Variety, as great as it is, I've been asked the question a few times. It's nice and it's wonderful. It makes me happy. It's tough not to be a little frustrated that 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 it even had to be a topic of discussion. That it is kind of news. The goal that is we can get to a point where it is the norm and that this doesn't have to be some uncharted waters, that eventually this is just the way it is. Representation across the board is how we make films. Look, it's an honor to be part of something that's taking these steps, but the goal is to look back on the time and just be and just be shocked that it took us this long to get there. All right, there's like a companion piece to this. All right. So of course you got backlash, right? So it says Snoop addresses comments on LGBTQ plus representation in movies. Let me see. I don't think I have it. Thought I did. Nope, I don't. I thought I did. Let me try one more time. Nope. All right. Sorry about that. I thought I had it and the website went blank on me. So I do apologize. All right. Let me see. All right, I do have a third Snoop thing, but what I'm going to say and comment on what he said about the film. Listen, I get it, both sides. I mean, it is today, and you want to show proper representation of everybody across the board. And you walk into a situation that you're not expecting, that your kids or grandkids or whoever, nieces or nephew of a certain age, ask a question, you have to, sit down and you gotta explain to them what it is. And I get it. You go in there and just want to watch an innocent animated movie, and they show something that it is kind of adult like, and it's something that a lot of kids don't understand and wasn't ready for. And some parents or grandparents or guardians may not be ready to explain to them, and some may not understand themselves. There's nothing wrong with it. It's today's world. It's what happens. You have a family with two mommies, two daddies, and so forth. That's what it is. Um, and I think he was just letting you know, like, I'm a little nervous because I don't know what to say to my grand. I don't know how to explain it because I don't understand it myself. Well, like I said, nowadays people are a little sensitive on comments, and if you don't go with the masses, you're a bad person. He's telling his opinion. He's letting you know how you feel about it. And of course, you can't do that nowadays. There's no such thing as free speech. There's no such thing as that. He gave his opinion on what he felt, and everyone wants to be mad at him. But that's how he felt. That's his opinion. It isn't nothing derogatory. He was just like, I'm a little nervous to like take him now because if something comes up I can't explain. I like they're young, and he thinks it's a little too, for an animated cartoon. Maybe it's a little too soon to say that. Maybe not. it's not he's not dismissing it. I don't think that he's being disrespectful. I kind of see what he's saying. But nowadays, you want to depict everyone. You want to represent everyone. Race, read, color, him or her. You want to do that, and that's just what the world is today. You want to show people of color. You want to show different religions. You want to show different sexual orientations, and so forth. Um, and of course, like, it's a sensitive subject. But like I said, if you don't go with the masses, they just think, well, you're just being negative or whatever the case may be. I don't think so. I think he was just expressing what he felt at the time, and he felt as though that should we be showing this with kids and animated as a cartoon. It's not like a drama or a TV or an adult film. And this is like a kid's cartoon, and they're showing it. I got my grandkids in the middle of the film like, how, why is this happening? And they won't stop talking. He's like, I wasn't expecting to have to explain this to you, and and I get it, but I don't see nothing wrong with either side of it. It's just, I think they have that on even on Sesame Street now. They do, like same sex or something like that. I mean, because that's today, you know. But like I said, I think people are taking it a little too personal at times when people make a comment like that. They quick to come at you when if you express your opinion. It's opinion. People have a right to have an opinion whether you like it or not. But nowadays you can't have an opinion. Now with the masses, you're dead wrong. That's just what it is. All right, my final thing was Snoop Dogg. Australian senator calls for Snoop Dogg to be removed from the AFL final. The Adelaide-based politician branded Snoop a slur merchant and questioned why the AFL would pay millions to acquire international talent rather than backing Aussie talent. Snoop Dogg should be sent to the doghouse and nowhere near the 2025 AFL Grand Finale. That's the substance of a message from Green Senator Sarah Hanson Young, who used a Senate address to call for Snoop removal from Australian rules football showpiece event where he has been booked for the pre-game entertainment. The Drop It Like It's Hot rapper was confirmed last month as the headline act of the pre-game entertainment at the AFL final. I'll get it out, to be staged September 27th at Melbourne Cricket Ground. Snoop, whose booking follows the footsteps of Ed Sheeran, Sting, The Killers, Lionel Richie, Tom Jones, Meat Loaf, and homegrown rockers Powderfinger, was presented by the AFL as a coup, with CEO Andrew Dillon describing the hip hop veteran as a pioneer performer and a true entertainer who would help deliver an unforgettable celebration of footy. Hanson Young, however, isn't hot on the idea. The Adelaide-based politician used the platform of her speech and a post from her Instagram account to brand Snoop a slur merchant and question why the Australian Football League would pay millions to acquire international talent rather than backing the Aussie talent. The AFL decided rather than putting on Australian artists, they're going to pay $2 million to play at the grand finale, remarked Hanson Young, a vocal supporter of the nation's music community. The AFL is a cultural institution, she remarked, and cultural institutions should back Australian musicians' creative art community, she continued. Speaking in the Senate, Hanson Young called out the irony of Snoop getting the red carpet treatment while Adelaide Crows forward Isaac Rakin received a 4-week suspension for making a homophobic slur on the pitch. The irony is not lost on many of us that Isaac Rankins gets dumped. Snoop Dogg gets $2 million to play the misogynistic, homophobic music on our turf. Hanson Young continued, while not focusing on any specific lyrics of Snoop. Hundreds of songs or comments closely follow Snoop remarks on a recent podcast in which he expressed discomfort at explaining to his grandson the same-sex relationship depicted in the animated movie Lightyear, at a time when Australian artists are struggling to be seen and heard, proof of which can be seen on a weekly area charts, the senator called out the AFL for missing opportunity to support locals. We need investment in Australian and Aussie talent. We need investments in our music industry. We need to say that if it's an Aussie game, it's an Aussie artist playing, she declared. And to the AFL have the guts to rethink this decision. It's not the first time Snoop has caught the air of foreign decision makers. In '06, the rapper was involved in a fracas in London's Heathrow Airport, during which 7 police officers received minor injuries. On the occasion, Snoop and 5 other men were arrested on charges of violent disorder and starting a brawl and spent the night in jail. The artist was subsequently banned from the country for 4 years. Uh, as his UK ban was lifted in 2010, Snoop found himself on the outside in the Netherlands, where authorities had him removed from the lineup of a free concert Park Pop Festival when the mayor and law enforcement officials asked its organizers could secure a performer of more open and friendly character. Earlier in '01, Snoop raised eyebrows when he presented Doggy Style, a feature-length adult video featuring his own music. All right, I'll say my comments. AFL CEO Andrew Nellen has defended his decision to book Snoop Dogg, noting that the league hadn't scrutinized all his lyrics and reiterated that the entertainment spot at the final would be a family-friendly spectacle. It is also important to remember that we engage Snoop Dogg in 2025 as the person he is today, Dylan said. He has spoken publicly about his past. He has changed. He has changed today. He's a grandfather, a philanthropist, I can get that word, a philanthropist. There you go, Kyle. Woo! He helps rehabilitate youth and a global entertainer who has performed at both the Super Bowl and Olympic closing ceremonies. Snoop has an Australian connection. In 2021, he struck an exclusive 5-year touring deal with TEG MJR, the UK-based promotion arm of Australian live entertainment ticketing and tech giant TEG. Let me say something. What the senator is saying in Australia is bullshit. Because even here in the States, when there is a Super Bowl or something, they're not always from the United States. They're from other countries. Some people from other countries. They might live in the United States, but they're from they're from other countries. And maybe, I'm just saying, be blunt, maybe the talent there at all in Australia might not bring in the money, the revenue, the access to the seats that a Snoop Dogg can. It's about money and who can bring it in. I don't think it's not about just supporting the local talent. I think it's about who can bring in access to the seats. It's all about cash and creative, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's what it comes down to. I don't think it has anything to do with them not supporting Australian talent. I think it's just like, all right, there's a global name that can bring access to the seats and so forth. And again, to bring up the comment that he made about Lightyear, that's his. Listen, between it happened in 22, the situation is 2025. He has the right to have an opinion about it. He didn't say nothing derogatory, but he has the right to feel that way. Since when you can't say how you feel? You know what I'm saying? So like, how dare he say it? He can say that. We can say it. He say nothing derogatory. He just felt uncomfortable. He said his piece. That's what it's all about. Freedom of speech, saying your opinion. He didn't call nobody out their names, say nothing derogatory. But again, when you're going against the masses, then you're this or you're that, you're a slur merchant and this and this. He felt uncomfortable. He has the right to feel uncomfortable. He has the right to feel what he wants to feel. He has the right to say what he wants to say, whether we like it or not. We gotta get off our fucking high horses and stop pointing the finger and be like, you should say that, you should say that. Except with everybody, we say what the fuck we want to say. Whether you don't like it, then you turn it off. We can feel how we want to feel. That's how he felt. He didn't say nothing that would hurt anyone's feelings. He said that's what he felt. He just felt uncomfortable. He has the right to feel that way. He has the right to say that at the end of the day. So I think she just all butthurt is because they probably all booed her out the room when she wanted a local Aussie band and played in a local pub there. And it was like, no, we need to make more money. And her grandson probably plays in the band. He's a drummer. Like grandma, I need to get in there. Possibly. But I think it comes down again, cash and creative. And Snoop has changed, and I'm sure he has. A lot of us do. We look back, we did shit in our youth and how we said and what we said and how we acted and all that stuff compared to now. Like, damn, what was I thinking? We all grow, whether you're civilian or celebrity alike. But we're all human beings. But at the end of the day, like I said, get off your high horse, stop crying, stop calling people names, call them a whatever he said, merchant, something merchant. I forgot that fast. It's not necessary. But I think, like at the end of the day, I'm sure they did their due diligence. They spoke with him. He's much older. He is a grandfather. He has the right. Anyone has the right to feel and say what they want to say or feel, and or whatever the case may be. We have to stop getting mad with people who speak their opinions and their minds on something because they disagree with the masses. That's okay. This is what makes the world great when people have their own free will of speech. You may not like what I say, I might not like what you say, but I respect it. At the end of the day, damn, I didn't realize my hand was in the camera like that. Um, but I don't see anything wrong with that. And kudos to her for performing. I think the senator in Australia needs to just get her head out her ass. And it's about money. And I think they looked at it like, yo, Snoop Dogg is a global icon. He has connections here. He's going to put asses in the seats. He's going to bring the revenue in. He promotes very well. He said his comments. He said what he felt. That's what he felt. That's okay. He didn't say nothing derogatory. We have to write. If you don't like it, and I'm gonna be out here, y'all might not like what I say. If you're not comfortable with something, you have the right to say that. Whether it's LGBTQ plus, you have the right to say you're not comfortable. You have that right. It don't make you a bad person. You being honest. You don't even feel uncomfortable. Some feel comfortable. Like we gotta stop like banning people for saying they don't like something because you like it. They have that right. They're not hurting anybody. They have that right to have their opinion, have the right to feel what they feel. Let it go. And that's just what it is. Not everyone is going to agree with everything. Not everyone's a yes man or a yes woman when it comes down to it. So, listen, let it go. Get your head out your ass. He's going to perform. He's going to bring the money in. Everybody's going to be happy. It's going to be a great show. And we move on to the next thing. Simple as that. And speaking on moving to the next thing, I'm gonna wrap things up right here on this week's episode of NYP Entertainment Radio, the Labor Day edition. Remember to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube or Spotify.com. More platforms to come, especially when I move on to the new show, Who is Kyle Graham in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for taking the time out. I'm entertaining you today. I look like crap, dude. It's been a long weekend. Haven't done nothing, and I wasn't going to do the show today, but I was like, I can't do that. So I was like, let me do it. I had an extra day and get out the way. So Lord willing, you will see me next week with another fresh new episode of the final season of NYPA Entertainment Radio. Have a good week, man, and hopefully it's the start of a good month, a good week. And like I said, stuff gets a little tough. Believe in a high power you believe in. Try to keep some positive people around you, and it'll work itself out. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, everyone. I will, Lord willing, see you next week on another episode of NYPA Entertainment Radio. The show is over.